Man, it is a beautiful thing to watch playoff Trav show up every single postseason, this time with another fantastic stat line against those Houston Texans in the divisional round, helping the Kansas City Chiefs advance to the AFC Championship game. What a great game. And then we've got Trent McDuffie, little underscore with all the sacks the Chiefs gave those Houston Texans, but he is helping lead this young group, not just secondary group, but entire defense with his elite level play. We are going to break it all down from the divisional round here on RGR. Welcome in, everybody. This is RGR Football. My name is Daniel Harms, senior film analyst. And if you guys are new to the channel, please hit that sub button right now. And then we are going to dive straight into the film and allow me to earn a like from you guys as we break down how the Chiefs were able to continuously get Travis Kelce open and then what they did to the Houston Texans on the defensive side in and out of this game to force them outside. They never even went inside the 10-yard line in this football game. Let's go ahead and break it down because, like I said, this is exactly the kind of thing that we want to see. Let's go full screen, bring it all the way in. Travis Kelce, again, focus here. This is one of the more unique formations that come out in a full house approach. You've got three guys in the backfield, two wide receivers flanking. They change it up a little bit. They go a little offset, right? Bring Noah Gray out to that right. Travis Kelce is the focal point here. This is what you want to focus on. They could bring more of this like cover three type shell right here where the these defensive players here are going to all come forward just a little bit on that play action. So Travis Kelce, again, he's going to come up here, give a little bit of fake like he's going to block and then hit this corner out here. Noah Gray is going to do the same thing, act like he's blocking, get to the flat. And then once again, we see Xavier Worthy taking the top off. Two defenders are going to go with him. Then they also bring to the same side that play action fake. So you have four different players funneling to that right side of the offense. And then on the backside here, you've got a dig against Kamari Lassiter with DeAndre Hopkins. So watch the different depths that they force the Houston Texans to get. Here's that play action. And this is what I mean right here. That very first step, you see four players sucked up just a little bit. What does that do? It opens space in the middle of the field. Also, when you have Xavier Worthy taking the top off, we know that's going to force two defensive players to go with them, right? We've seen that time and time again this season where these guys take their attention to Xavier Worthy because if he gets loose deep, it's just going to be open season on the deep ball. So right there it is. You see Travis Kelce right there going to that second level, and it's too late. Pat sees that wide open space, drops it right in the bucket, but that's what you get. Now watch really quickly again. You see how they attack those levels with Xavier Worthy, then Travis Kelce, and Noah Gray. This is that flooding of one side of the field, right? That flood action here, but also really quickly, just the eyes of the defensive players. 23 is going here. 39 is also here. They leave one player uncovered so that Pat can make that decision, but also just kind of getting out there. We see how quickly they can get back behind these players with the play action and then the flooding concepts underneath. Even on the backside, DeAndre Hopkins was open if you didn't see that. So there were options here on this play. So there's that play action right there. This is what I mean by DeAndre Hopkins was open. So right here, he's coming across the side of the field. And look, again, this is the guy that they picked on for the vast majority of the football game. Azeez Al-Jair. They were able to kind of move him around wherever they wanted to. He was in and out of place. But this, again, fantastic throw to Travis Kelce on the sideline. Unique formation creates a lot of different functional problems within the defense. So this is a very Travis Kelce staple, honestly. Middle of the field, but this time he's wide open once again for a very big play, makes guys miss. We'll get to that here in a second. What I want to focus on is a couple of things. They're going to bring Eric Murray late. So right here, he's that safety, drop him down. He's going to blitz late. They're also going to bring, I believe, the defense tackle over Trey Smith. He's going to cross his face off to that side. So watch Travis Kelce here. Again, he's coming to the middle of the field. We know that deep bender right here. He's going to kind of stop right in the middle. On both sides of the football on the wide receiver side, they're running inside release out routes, okay? Inside release out routes, both of them, Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy. You've got Noah Gray on here, chip help to the flat. Once again, holding a defender out there. So we're going to go through here, and you're going to see exactly the kind of problems that they created here. So there it is. Eyes, defensive players' eyes are right here. once again to underneath. Travis is going to go right behind them into that void, but you see attention here, attention here. You got man coverage again here. Travis is just going to kind of find himself right behind these guys and sitting there, and they got attention again on here. But this is really what it comes down to. You got to get the protection right, right? They do. They bring that extra man. They find the protection. Travis Kelce is wide open in the middle of the field. Like it's the thing they've done over and over again. Remember that play against the Chargers a few years ago when Brandon Staley was still there and he couldn't understand why he was always open? Well, this is why. It's part of the calculus. The Chiefs had done such a good job at creating space and using wide receivers to open up that spot. Real quick, shout out to Trey Smith right here on this play again. He's going to have this defender, believe that is still come across his face right there. Boom, he sees that last late rush right there, and he's going to get eyes on Eric Murray. Boom, and he's going to pick up that blitz right there with force. So yeah, doesn't matter what you do there. You have to pay attention behind you, Aziz. Again, we saw him moving underneath, not moving with Travis Kelce. Eyes take you only so far for a linebacker. You have to know where the best player is at all times, and he really didn't for the most part. This is a third down pass for Travis Kelce again. And they're going to pull the defense away, and then you're going to give Kelce the chip with that delay route here. Third down again. You motion DeAndre Hopkins out here a little bit. Then he's taking out just a little fade from here. He's going to fade down the field. Here you've got Hollywood Brown taking it up the middle of the field right there. And then Juju Smith-Schuster is coming to the middle, holding here. So this is all just clear out. Travis Kelce, again, hit. He's going to do a little bit of a chip and come right underneath right here. Again, they're just unable to feel it happen because of that clear out action. Long third down, you've got Aziz again coming out this time, bailing down the pipe, as they call it, that Tampa 2 coverage that this kind of turns into, where they're rotating these safety of the Derek Stingley back to that safety spot. Travis Kelce, you see, wide open underneath because of the rotation and the clear out in combination with that. So he's right there. He takes a little stutter step because he doesn't exactly know where the defenders are, but it doesn't matter because he's wide open. So it was so easy for them to get to these different plays throughout the game for Travis Kelce. And that's one of the big problems I think that the Texans had, and why we didn't see many targets to the outside receivers. This was available. It was available all game long. They knew exactly how to get after him, and they did it consistently from time after time after time. So here again, this is another big play. Travis Kelce, we got cover one blitz on, and it's just man-on-man coverage, right? That's all it is with that safety coming over the middle of the field and then coming after him. It's simple. It's not that hard. It's just a little boom into the middle, and you've got Noah Gray right here is going to come up and out with a little return route. You've got Curl right here. He knows he's not getting the football, but this is all it is. It's cover one man blitz. They're going to bring an extra defender right there. Travis Kelce intends this outside. He stems this up, gives a little bit of a hop step at the top. Boom, crosses the face. Patrick knows exactly where to go with this football because, again, there's nobody in the middle of the field. And look at where he throws the football. Okay, he throws it away from that safety and away from the defender, locates it down and away. Again, offensive line picking up everybody here. It's a great job. Creed Humphrey accidentally falls down, but this is what I mean. Low and away. He's telling Travis Kelce which way to turn with the location of the football, because if you can see right here, when we come back to the defensive safety, he's intentionally coming down here, assuming the ball is going to be thrown out here. The same with this trailing defender. They're all going that way. So Patrick throws this on more of that outside hip right here, that inside hip, where he's able telling Travis, look, turn away from the defenders and run that way. So he stops, he pivots around, and then he accelerates through into open space. That dynamic that they have is so unique, and it's so special, and that's why we see it on display in big games like this, and that's why they went after it. They knew they could get exactly what they wanted to, and now they're going to isolate Travis Kelce in space on Azeez Al-Shaair. They're going to attack him again, this time with a little bit of nuance added to it, because we all know that Travis Kelce is always one place and then he's another. So they're going to move Travis Kelce down, right here, and they have Marquise Hollywood Brown just running a little out route. Xavier Worthy is taking this to the middle of the field. Okay, so what that does, again, it stretches out the defense bringing this player number, I believe Stingley here, and opening this safety up. So you have space to the middle of the field. So here it is. Travis is moving. He's moving. He's moving. You got eyes now from Azeez Al-Jair on Travis this time. He's actually looking right at him. So the underneath defender goes that way. Travis knows he clears it, but right here is where he looks. This is where he gets him. He gets him to bite, right? He says, I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to look at Pat. Throw me the football. It's exactly what he wants Azeez to do as he triggers right here. Pat does a fantastic job of coming up and still able to throw this football. And then it's now you see me, now you don't. And Travis Kelce gets right behind Azeez and right into that spot he's looking to create with the separation and then pulling that safety and DB away from the middle of the field once again with Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy. So they did a fantastic job of isolating these guys, Travis Kelce, excuse me, in situations where he was able to do whatever he wanted to. And that's the reason why they just went after Travis Kelce and they continued to feed him to over 100, 100 yards in this game, that touchdown, because it was the way to attack them, safeties and linebackers. Don't worry about the corners. They can't really be beaten in the sense that Hollywood Brown's going to beat them one-on-one. Xavier's going to beat them one-on-one. And I think that even DeAndre Hopkins isn't going to do that. They wanted to stay away from that on purpose because those guys create turnovers. They're turnover adverse right now, and that was what they wanted to do. So hats off to the offensive game plan. We need better execution. We need to see better execution going into the Bills matchup in the AFC Championship game. But right now, we are going to take a quick break and talk about Underdog. Underdog does sponsor this show. We appreciate them very much for being a part of the RGR family as we continue to bring you guys some of the best content out there. So you guys know what this is about. This is all about the pick'em entries. These are one of my favorite things to do. I love doing these every single week, and so I've started to really create them more on a daily basis. I'm having a lot of fun with this, but let's focus on Chiefs and Bills. Okay, let's look at this real quickly. I'm going to make a 4 pick'em entry with you guys today. Don't forget, you need to sign up. Use the code RGR to claim your free pick and a first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Make sure you are using that code RGR to do it. So we'll pull up here, excuse me, and I want to go to the one guy I think is going to score for sure in this football game like he has, and it is Kareem Hunt. As we see, we've got the 0.5 rush or receiving touchdown higher, 1.38 times. This is the exact place that I want to start because he's going to be in my opinion, the goal line back, the short yardage back. He's going to be the guy. If they get inside the 5-yard line, we know he's getting the football, and he's probably going to punch it in. So we start there. We already bring that multiplier higher. And so let's look at what else we got. We know that Xavier Worthy's been kind of the focal point of the offense for the wide receivers. 2.5 rushing yards seems like a fun one as well for higher on that, but I want to get on the Bills side too, because we have to get one on each side, right? We have to be able to do that. So we're looking at Josh Allen, okay? This is going to be a close game in my opinion, okay? I don't think they're going to let him beat them with his legs, but I do think that he can score in different facets, and I think he will put 2 in the air. And so we're going to take higher on the 1.5 passing touchdowns there. And let's stick here on the Chiefs side. Now, we've got one guy on that side. We don't have to worry about that. We know Josh Allen throws against the Chiefs and scores against the Chiefs. It's going to be up to the offense to carry that. So I want to look here at the Hollywood Brown number. They threw him the football down the field twice against the Texans, and I think that you can get this defense there as well. So we look at this 33.5 receiving yards, and I'm going to go higher on that one real quick. Noah Gray, I also think you can get the middle of the defense. I think 2 receptions is another one to put in that bag. So we've got a 4 entry here, pick'em entry for the Chiefs with Kareem Hunt higher on touchdowns than 0.5 touchdowns, Josh Allen higher than 1.5 touchdowns, Hollywood Brown higher than 33.5 yards, and then Noah Gray higher than 1.5 receptions. It's that easy. You guys put in the amount you want to enter here, you hit play, and that's all it is. Don't forget to use the code RGR sign up to get that up to $1,000 bonus cash when you do, and that free pick. You can't forget that, you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun to continue with these underdog pick'ems every single week. So let's go ahead and dive back into the tape, guys, because that's what you're here for. I know we have fun with underdog, and I'm having fun with it too, but let's dive in and see what we got here on the defensive side. So complementary football 101, right? Let's talk right here. Back end leads to the front end success, as it usually does in Kansas City, and defenses everywhere. CJ Stroud's getting out of the pocket because, first of all, there's nobody open. Okay, he's going to break this out. The Chiefs show cover zero. They show cover zero, and then they're just going to back out of it. Jaden Hicks is going to back out here, and then they're going to double right here. Nico Collins on that left side, take him away completely. They're also going to have Nick Bolton come around and be man covered on the running back. So he comes out here. He's not actually blitzing. So it's essentially cover one double. So you again have that double team here with eyes here, cover one, meaning you've got one safety out here shaded to this side because they've already taken the other side of the way with that double team. So you've got man coverage everywhere else, right? Man, man, man. And then you've got Nick Bolton here on the running back. So cover one double, boom, end of story. We've seen it before, and this is exactly what they do in that low red zone here, getting inside the 20-yard line. Once again, not close to that 10-yard line. They didn't let that happen here on third down, and he's got to get out of the pocket because we don't see, there's nobody open. Nobody is home. There is not one person that is open, and you've got George Karlaftis once again early in the game in your face. So he's coming after you. He's making it so you have to run down the sideline. That effort is what we know him for. He's gotten so much better throughout the this season, and really has turned it on in the postseason when he's putting the tackle right there in the back of the back in the backfield, and then coming out here with that effort. You love to see that. Now we're going to talk a little bit quickly about how the Texans actually were able to have that success in the middle of the field. This is one of the reasons. They're going to motion John Mechie from right to left. Now you see Chamari Connor travel, and a little communication issue there at the line of scrimmage with Najee Johnson. This is part of the problem here. So you have the Texans again motioning over, and now communication. We got communication here. Looking here, he's looking back because he doesn't actually know what's going on. He needs to stay with that outside receiver, okay? I know it gets confusing here because this is still man coverage, but what the Texans do is they run a little bit of a switch release here, and they go this way. So it confused Najee Johnson, and it created a pick play essentially on themselves in the middle of the field because Najee had no idea where to go. So he kind of shades inside, and they have that switch release there, and he goes with John Mechie to the outside. He goes with him there. The same with Chamari Connor. So you have two people take the exact same. When you look at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see the exact same route concept. Whoops. The exact same route concept here from the Texans on this side. But you have two experienced players in the Chiefs defense, and Justin Reed and Trent McDuffie, who stay with their players, and there's nobody open down the field here. So they do exactly what they're supposed to do. Unfortunately, on the top of your screen there, you see the miscommunication between Najee Johnson, Chamari Connor, and it creates an explosive in the middle of the play. There were a couple times in this game where we saw Najee Johnson and Chamari Connor have issues trading off or maybe getting bumped off of each other's routes, and that created some big plays in the middle of the field. So just communication and some inexperience on the younger guys' parts created some of that. But we go to a high leverage situation, all right? Fourth down, 4th and 10, play clock's running down. The Texans break the huddle in a rush, right? They get up the line of scrimmage really fast. He's trying to huddle. He's trying to snap the ball because the play clock is running down. And in a high leverage situation, what should your coach do? Should call a timeout. That's what he should do when your young quarterback is rushing, trying to get something here. I know you're also trying to rush to get the Chiefs off guard, but in their rush, George Karlaftis coming off that right end against a tight end with zero help, who actually doesn't really do anything. He does absolutely nothing, and he's late off the ball too. But the Chiefs are blitzing, and it doesn't matter. But here we have nowhere to throw the football either. So high leverage situation on 4th down, you have 3 receivers in the route. On 4th down, again, high leverage situation, you have 3 receivers in the route and a tight end on George Karlaftis when your coach should have called a timeout. This is the kind of stuff that the Chiefs don't do. Why they lose, why the Texans lose, why they're blaming other things happening. This is the kind of stuff that you can't afford to have happen in those high leverage situations. Dalton Schultz one-on-one and does a piss poor job of blocking George Karlaftis. And this is what happens. Great teams take advantage of poor play and poor execution. It's exactly what the Chiefs did, and they got after it right there with a high leverage situation. Texans full shift to the Jones side as well. Look at this here. This is what I'm talking about. They're going to full shift. When they say they don't help him at all, they give him zero help. They full shift to that Chris Jones side, and then they leave George Karlaftis one-on-one. See everybody move right there. Boom. Everyone moves down. They think they have this all figured out. They don't. The Chiefs mess with their protections all game long, and it was a big problem for Houston on that side. Now we can get into a little bit of the empty protections. And for those of you who don't know, if you're not having tight ends or running backs kept in, what this kind of thing is called is empty protections, where you have 5 men in the protection. It's essentially treated like you have your running backs out here, lined up here, and there's nobody in the protection that can do anything. And that's exactly what happens here with the Chiefs, where the Texans are running this tight end here is not giving you any help block at all, and the running back is getting out into the route. So you've got your offensive linemen are all in conjunction. They have to know exactly what to do in those empty protections. They don't. They don't. The Texans are going to half slide to the Chris Jones side this time, and it creates a Charles Omenihu situation where he's completely forgotten. But do you want to know why he's completely forgotten? Because they're going to bring Nick Bolton in a scrimmage once again. And when you have that half slide, so you have guard, center, tackle all shifting this way, Nick Bolton right in this guy's face, and then an edge off of this end. Well, who do you think's going to block big old Charles Omenihu? Nobody. They forget their protections were so bad. So this is exactly what the Chiefs want. They want Nick Bolton, who's not actually going to blitz, mind you, to come up here and make this guard believe that he's going to blitz. There he goes. And then watch Charles Omenihu. Free. Boom. Look at this. It's beautiful. It's quick. It's decisive, and it causes a fumble. Unfortunately for the Chiefs, the Texans fall on it, but that's how they were able to manipulate pressures. And when you are full sliding to the Chris Jones side, there's a reason for it. And I'm going to show you guys the reason right after this play, because this is exactly what the Texans didn't want to happen. They didn't want him to have one-on-one with anybody, because this is what happened the first time that Spags got a one-on-one situation on the outside with Chris Jones. It ended in a sack. So this whole game after that, they were trying to counteract Chris Jones in one-on-one situations. But we see a theme here. Nick Bolton, line of scrimmage, all right? This time, you divide the offensive line in half, right? So we're going to put this on the center's helmet, right? If we draw a line down the center of the helmet, right there, you have 3 players on this side also with a threat to blitz from either one of these players, okay? So they have to take that into consideration. And then you have nobody on this side. So again, if we think about 5-man protections, you got one here, one here, one here. Those guys are taken up. And if Nick Bolton comes here, it's one-on-one with Chris Jones and Blake Fisher. And that's exactly what happens, because Nick Bolton not actually blitzing. They're going to rotate here and get Charles Omenihu to loop around, which I really like, by the way. I love this blitz dynamic right here, where it's not actually a blitz, but it's more of a simulated. Nick Bolton comes up here and he backs out. They're going to loop Charles Omenihu around, but they create that one-on-one situation with Chris Jones, and that's how you get pressure. And that's why throughout the whole entire game, they continued to move their offensive line towards Chris Jones' side because of this right here. They did not want one-on-ones with him because he was getting after it too quickly and already. So all of the ways that they put pressure on CJ Stroud in this football game paid off. And then when they didn't have those successful plays, this guy right here, Trent McDuffie, who was on the front cover for a big reason with 3 pass breakups in this game, who now leads the Chiefs playoff history with 13 passes defensed in the postseason, because he's just that good. And honestly, they got a little lucky here because, yeah, they pressured CJ Stroud, but I think that one guy right here, Drew Tranquil, came off of his responsibility. So we have that play action fake. He sees the running back come out here to chip. And I think he takes this like almost as an open invitation, like he might just be blocking to come blitz after CJ Stroud and leaves the running back open in the flat. The same with Nick Bolton, who's coming around as well. They just kind of leave that there, which was a little confusing to me. But overall, Trent McDuffie, again, in that hip pocket. He got beat a couple times in this game. I think he gave up 42 yards on 32 snaps against Nico Collins. He was awesome in this football game. Again, just hands away from his body. He's able to time that perfectly, continuously to close on the gaps here in this game. And against these receivers, he only allowed 1 yard of separation to Nico Collins in this game as well. So when we consider what they've done, I think defensively, getting all of these pressures, finding better ways now with Jalen Watson back, playing 40 snaps last week. He was clearly in a ramp-up period to play against the Buffalo Bills, and I expect that to happen. Overall, the defense, combined with that complementary football effort where the offense didn't really have to be explosive, and yet they still were a few different times. But the game plan is what we want to focus on. They attacked the middle of the field with the safeties and the linebackers with Travis Kelce, and they didn't attack those guys who can turn the football over. And on defense, they attacked that offensive line. They got after CJ Stroud. And then on the back end, for the large majority of the football game, outside of some, chunk plays here and there, they were locked down. They didn't get inside the 10-yard line. They were 1 for 3 in the red zone. That's how you win football games. That's how you do it right there. And the Chiefs did it pretty much all game long against the Houston Texans. They were outgained by them, but it didn't matter. In those clutch situations and in those situational football moments, the Chiefs had the answers. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. We will be back tomorrow. Gary will get you guys for a Thursday video. Ryan and I will be back for the game plan for the AFC Championship game, Chiefs Bills. You're not going to want to miss it. Please tune in for that. And then we will be live directly after the game on Sunday, no matter what, win, lose. And please, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that sub button right now. Hit the like on the way out, and I'll see you guys next.